Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Despite competing in every single winter game since the start in 1924, there was a 90-year wait for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, now known to most, of course, as Team GB, to win their first ever Winter Olympic medal on snow. I'm John.
And I'm Michael. And that was 2014 in Sochi. But like London buses, two more followed 4 years later in South Korea.
Now 3 is also the magic number, fingers crossed, for GB Snowsport, with a trio of Alpine skiers looking to make history at Milano Cortina 2026.
Yeah, hi, my name's Dave Ryding.
Hi, I'm Billy Major. Hi, I'm Laurie Taylor, Alpine ski racer. Alpine ski racer.
Alpine ski racer from Great Britain.
Great Britain. For Great Britain.
This is a special episode of the podcast with GB Snowsport.
38-year-old Dave Ryding is aiming for his 5th Winter Olympics. 29-year-olds Laurie Taylor and Billy Major could both be going to their second. But with all three in the world's top 30, the GB Snowsport men's ski team, or the Alpine boys as they're known, are on track for 3 British skiers at the 2026 Olympics for the first time. After a long off-season in the summer, the World Cup Series is already underway, and Dave, Laurie and Billy have been telling Michael about a good start so far.
2 races down, a bit of both ends of the spectrum. Started with a 7th in Levy, which was great, and then 6 days later backed it up with a pretty dismal 25th. So a bit of both, but yeah, nice to get the season started and the ball rolling.
And Laurie, you've begun really well with one of the best ever Alpine ski result of your career. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a way to seriously kick off the season in Levy with 4th. Yeah, a cool way to start. And then second race, no second run, no qualification. So like Dave, a bit of a mixed pot, but positive start, definitely.
And Billy, I have to ask you then, how do you assess your beginning of the year?
Again, I think following the trend, fairly mixed, but some positives to build on. I think we're all in a pretty good place to be excited moving forwards and build on the results we've started off with.
Dave, what are you guys looking to achieve at this stage of the season? Because the focus and eyes will inevitably, for the wider public at least, be on an Olympic Games. But what's going through your mindset right now?
Yeah, I think like any year, you want to start the World Cup season well. It's always a long off season for our sport. It's probably 7 months of summer training. So to know that you started the season in the right sort of form is always nice, and that those summer months are ticked off and done in a good way. And with alpine skiing, because with the way our sport is, your bib number is quite important. So come the Olympics, our bib number for the Olympics will be dependent on our World Cup. So we can't just take our foot off the gas and arrive in Bormio in February ready just for that race. It's very much a process to get there in the best position possible, and then come that day, be ready to rock and roll.
And how much, Billy, is the Olympics sort of playing on your mind? Is it something you have and look every day at the calendar, or do you just think, look, I've got a lot of World Cup skiing and training and whatever else to do between now and then?
Yeah, it's definitely not something that I would say I prioritise and lose sleep over. Yeah, I think in the UK, obviously, the Olympics has always been a big deal, but in the ski racing world, I think you could argue some World Cups are maybe slightly higher praised. So obviously it's super important, and something I'm looking forward to and want to do well in. But it's definitely something that I'll take along the way during the season and not prioritise that one race.
And your feelings on it, Laurie? I guess the fact that it's the three of you all going together as well must be a pretty unique history-making thing.
Yeah, so it's not decided yet. The decision's at the end of January, so it's not 100%. So we've still got work to do to make sure our positions are in the right place, like Dave said. But yeah, to have all three of us there would be really cool. We've not done it yet, so it will be just like the rest of the World Cup tour for us. Things change very quickly, so we're not going to be resting on what we've got now. We've still got a lot to do.
And Billy, you mentioned obviously with the way your season is, the way your circuit is, the Olympics is not the defining moment. It's not the be all and end all. But can you begin to imagine what it would mean to have the three of you there for Team GB and representing GB Snowsport?
Yeah, I think it would be very special. I think Dave kind of, has led the way for men's slalom skiing over the last decade or two. And, we're hot on his heels trying to follow suit. And yeah, I think over the last few years, we've had some, you could call them historic moments where three Brits in the top 30 of a World Cup had never been done before. Now 3 Brits ranked in the top 30, never been done before. So again, if we could have 3 guys at the Olympics, in a good position to be medal contenders even, that would be really exciting.
And Billy mentioned there that you've been leading the way for quite a while, Dave, but it must be nice to have these 2 young guys clipping at your heels.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me in my later years of sport is having Billy and Laurie with me. I think we've been a really tight-knit team for the last 5 years now, and we've really thrived off each other. While obviously, yeah, I've been leading the way, I've seen some pretty special skiing from both of them along the way. It's all a process, it's all learning, and I'm just really excited. Touch wood, all 3 of us at the Olympics. I feel like it could be the perfect storm for February in Bormio, and obviously no secret my last year, but I really look forward to signing off with 3 Brits at the Olympic Games. Will be really cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what the plans are. So it's definitely one more, number 5, and that is that?
Yeah, exactly. And never count my chickens, like Laurie said. We've all got to be there first, not just qualification, but the body, everything like that. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, do the process, make sure everything is ticked boxes along the way as such, and turn up in Bormio ready to go.
I'll revisit the idea of saying goodbye to something that's been so huge in your life shortly, Dave. But Laurie, what has Dave brought to you, both in terms of his performances and his history-making performances, his record at qualifying for Olympic Games, but also as a person?
Well, firstly, just a lot of inspiration. Seeing Dave do what he's done really shows what is possible for us, and he's also, as a teammate, he's really sort of helped us climb up. Shown us how it's done, taught us a lot along the way. Just learning from how he does it. And as a friend, it's great to have had Dave, in the team, and like just bringing the fun to every day of training, and it's been very special to have that. And it is going to be strange without him. It'll be a sad day. I won't admit it to him. Won't record that. But
I know Dave obviously is listening in to this, and is a modest man in my dealings with Dave. But what would you say, Billy, about having Dave on your side?
Yeah, as long as he's had his morning coffee, he's not too bad to be around. No, he's as Laurie mentioned, it's been a key figure kind of leading the team, and we've learnt a lot, being able to draw out all the positives, and it's been a great team to be part of. And again, as a on a more human level, he's been a great guy, and always very supportive, but also very honest. He's very honest when you need someone to be, and that's always helpful in difficult situations. So he's been great to have, and I'm sure we'll miss him.
And Dave, what's behind the decision for you to pack in competitive skiing? Is it a physical thing? Is it that you feel that you've given everything you possibly can? Because it is so difficult, and I've interviewed so many Olympians and Paralympians. It is so difficult to say, this is it. I'm giving up. I'm stopping. I'm retiring.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think that's why I'm still going. It's not an easy decision, and while I'm still competing at the top, then you never really want to leave anything on the table. But now turning 39, it's there's now more whys not to do it than there is to do it as such, and I never want to do sport in general just to be there. I always want to do sport to compete, and listening to my body, knowing that age becomes a factor. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, age is just a number," but it's not entirely true. But yeah, there's just I think it's the right time. Everything is pointing towards now being the right time, having one more crack at the Olympics, and then also the next generation, Billy, Laurie, the ones after, they're ready to take over the mantle of British skiing, and are at that level where they can now hold the British flag in the top 10 in the world consistently, like I've been able to do for the last 10 years. So yeah, it feels right to hand over the baton and really, just try one more season all in, and then knowing that the finish line is there.
And I saw on your social media as well, obviously, pictures of you with your family, and I believe it's a daughter that you've got. They must also come into the equation, because it's a tough, hard life on the road away from people.
Yeah, exactly that. My daughter starts school in September, and I certainly want to be there for her. I think it's important for kids to have their dad around, not just for support, but maybe a bit of discipline along the way, and make sure she's eating the right things. But I want to be there for my family, and we do sort of 4 or 5 week stints away sometimes in the season, so it's not really fair on them, and it's definitely the right time to give what I can to my family, for sure.
Now, I got Billy and Laurie to embarrass you by talking about you. Let me give you the opportunity, your right of reply. What can you tell us?
Well, firstly, I'd like to, people, obviously people have seen what I've done the last season, but I don't think people generally realise the impact Billy and Laurie have had on my skiing the last 4 or 5 years. It's no coincidence that I've been able to win at 35 and then have 3 podiums after that, and it's because of the day in, day out camaraderie, competition, the level that they bring to the training. It really makes me stay honest and stay knowing where I need to be. And as it's really touching to hear their words for me, because a big part of what I certainly want to have is what the next generation perceive as me and the older generation. So that's obviously really nice to hear. But the boys, they joined me 4 years ago, Billy and Laurie, and every credit to them. They've learnt, they've become super professional guys on and off the hill. And I don't really have many bad words to say about the boys. And one thing, we've become very close, very good friends. And the camaraderie that we have day in, day out after I've had my morning coffee it's great to be on the road with them. So top men, gentlemen as well, but super professional. And I really look forward to seeing what they can go on and achieve from the other side of the gates as such.
I just want to speak as well to Billy and Laurie about your decision as far as funding was concerned, because I was reading from Vicky Gosling, the CEO of GB Snowsport, how after Beijing funding was cut. There was a little bit of money for Dave to support Dave, but his decision, Billy and Laurie, was to try and support you guys with that as well. What did that mean? What advantage did that bring to you, and how did that help you to get to where you both are now?
Yeah, I mean, it's invaluable, really, where, we wouldn't have been able to do it without the team and, yeah, basically the support of some people that have come in along the way. Credit to the people that have backed us, because without them we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be able to be getting results that we are getting. And so, yeah, I will forever be very, very grateful for people's support and belief in this little team that we are. And we're taking on these, let's say, giants of the ski world and alpine nations, and we're just a little team with a lot of grit and determination. And it's nice to have that support to keep us going.
And Dave, was it always a decision you were going to make that limited pot of funding that was kind of allocated to you always wanted to share out? Going back to what you were saying about this kind of legacy piece, I guess.
Yeah, I think there was a small pot, and I think people who have come in along the way have made it possible for us to do what we do. But I knew after 1 year of skiing with the boys that I would be nothing without their sort of support anyway, and their camaraderie on the piece and the professionalism that I talked about earlier. So yeah, there was never a question that I could do this on my own anyway. I'd been on my own for years, and there was no doubt that I was going to stick with the boys, because I saw how valuable they were, what sort of team we'd made together, and for the future of the sport. It's hugely important that we don't have loads of skiers, so if we can do it together, we have to do it that way and thrive off each other.
And Laurie, you're using a pretty unique method in trying to promote you and your sport as well. I've seen quite a lot of brilliant video content from you. 30 chasing 30. What's the idea behind that?
I just wanted to create something a bit more of a story. I'd been doing a lot of YouTube videos in the past. I wanted to make something for Instagram, and it was kind of a year of, I'm approaching 30. As Dave's approaching 40, I'm approaching 30. And I just wanted to, show the journey, the chase into trying to make it into the world's top 30, which isn't easy. And so, sort of a 30-second window into my life chasing the top 30 in the world. That was the idea behind it.
Billy, does he get annoying with his camera at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, when you're just trying to have a quiet moment to yourself and he's sticking his phone or his camera in your face?
There's definitely points when it's an early morning in Saas-Fee and, it's 4 a.m. and your eyes are barely open. But I mean, Laurie's really good. He totally gets the team environment and respects that there's other people. So he does it in a very good way, and definitely wouldn't want anyone feeling annoyed with having his cameras on.
And Dave, I'm presuming there's some strict rule that the camera never gets pointed at you, certainly not before the morning coffee. I think we've established.
That's the best time to bring the camera out. You've got to hit clickbait, Angry Dave.
Yeah, as long as he's put the kettle on, it's all good. No, and I think what it has done, it's certainly shown an insight into the team and also our characters. So yeah, I think Laurie knows when and where to point the camera at me, and knows and can judge when and where I'm not always up for it. But no, it's always a good laugh, and absolutely, I think it's done good, and portraying the team, and people like to watch us have a laugh, as well as the serious training that we do day to day.
Just before we wrap up, Dave, your Olympic career, you've been to 4, you've carried a flag at the opening ceremony, and with Eve Muirhead, who's going to be chef de mission this time around. How are you feeling heading to Games number 5 potentially? And I imagine that when you set out on this path, you probably didn't ever imagine you would compete at 5 Olympic Games. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, my goal, I remember sitting in a class at high school thinking, it'd be really cool to go to an Olympics. I never pictured being at 5, and to be honest, I didn't really envisage being at this Olympics, at the last one. Obviously, I said a few quotes in the finish area, but I certainly didn't have it on my mind to be here. So it really feels like a bonus. It feels like another chance, and I do feel like I've had a 9th at the Olympics, but I feel like a true representation of myself would be to go out there and better that 9th position, whether that's 8th or wherever. That's my goal, just to try and do better than I've done before. No fancy goals, just go there and do my best.
And Billy and Laurie, you've both obviously been to one each. Is the ambition when you head to Italy just to perform at the best? Obviously, you need to, as you say, qualify first, but just to perform at the best of your abilities and just be proud of what you've done?
Definitely. And I think, we've showcased it on a few results and some sections. I think if we are able to bring our A game on the day, all of us are very capable of getting the results, anyone would kind of dream of. So yeah, just focus on what we can do, and I think the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, very excited to do it and have us all there. Just give it everything, really. Just like you said, just want to go there and put down some good skiing to be proud of. Results, I'm sure will come.
Dave, I'll give you the final word. You say obviously this is going to be your last season competitively, but you're a man that's got a lot to give, not just snow sport, skiing, but sport in general. Any thoughts at this stage about what is next, what the next chapter is?
Yeah, I think one thing I've learned in life is that I know quite a bit now about red and blue slalom gates. So in some way, whether that's coaching, mentorship, balancing family life is going to be important. I think some kind of coaching or mentorship to start with, so I can stay in the sporting game, and then we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I can sort of launch something in the winter as a brand, and then we'll just to get it exposed before I totally finish and become irrelevant. So yeah, we'll see, but definitely stay in the sport. I love it. I love skiing, and to give back to the sport in some way will be really important.
Well, I think what Billy and Laurie have said about you today, I think what you did in Kitzbühel in January 2022 and heading towards this 5 Olympic Games would mean you're anything but irrelevant. So thank you all very much for your time. We really appreciate you speaking to us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Dave Ryding, Billy Major and Laurie Taylor, the GB Snowsport ski stars aiming for Milano Cortina 2026. We wish them all the best of luck in the coming weeks for qualification. They'll hope to be among some of the 3,000 athletes from 90 nations taking part in Italy, with the men's Alpine skiing taking place at the Stelvio Ski Centre in Bormio, some 3 hours away from Milan.
Make sure you follow for more snow stories as we build up to Milano Cortina 2026 and the Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games. This has been a special episode of the podcast with GB Snowsport.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.